welcome in everyone. Meteorologist Shane Smith here with you on a Sunday night. It is July 19th, 2026. Hope you're doing well. And weather's calming down tonight, but we've got the potential for some active weather as we go into your Tuesday. And I wanted to kind of look at some of the latest data as it was coming in, break it down, and give you guys my opinion on how things play out and kind of what we need to do because this got the potential to be probably the most impactful severe weather outbreak of the summer so far here in Kentucky. And we are going to just have to kind of see how this all evolves. Let me know in the comments where you are joining from this evening. We would love to hear from you. And if you enjoy the content we're doing, please be sure to hit that like, subscribe, and share buttons. All of those things helps us out a whole lot here as we talk about what's going on weather-wise in Kentucky all across the bluegrass tonight. Right now, it's calming down. We got a little bit of thunderstorm action out into portions of western Kentucky. Few storms out near Madisonville right now. Trying to find a little better camera to throw there in slot 1 for the time being. We're not going to be staying on the cameras very long tonight anyway. So let us know where you're joining from. Seeing Bonnie Collins joining us from over in Leslie County, Tina Lamb in Bell County. Over on TikTok, see Teresa and Bev, Donna, Theodore joined, John Brown. Thank you guys for joining us. We're getting ready to talk about severe weather potential for Tuesday. Could be pretty interesting. John Brown joining us from Clay County over on the TikTok. Thank you very much, John. So let's get right to it. Let's start breaking this down, talking about what's going on right now, what goes on tomorrow, and how that all plays into Tuesday. So right now we've got a stationary front pretty much right on top of Kentucky. Had some heavy rain across southern Kentucky earlier today. Those have moved down into Tennessee. You can see we've still got a few lingering flood advisories in the state. But I want to draw your attention back off to the northwest. Just look at this big area of low pressure spinning up into Canada right now. This is going to dive down into the upper Midwest tomorrow with a pretty potent cold front. And this is a legitimate early fall style cold front coming in July. This is the type of cold front we would normally see in September. So you get cooler air clashing with hot, humid air. That is a classic textbook recipe for some big time thunderstorms. Now, is it a guarantee on Tuesday yet? No. But the chances are looking pretty good. We still got to figure out a lot of the details, and the details are going to be very important tomorrow. How tomorrow's weather develops is going to impact Tuesday greatly. So we're going to take a look at where things are right now and tell you where they could possibly go. So we're going to get a little nerdy tonight. We're going to get really into the weeds with some of the weather data. So buckle in, and if you enjoy that kind of content, be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons. So here we go. Taking a look at the state map, you can see there's those thunderstorms out in western Kentucky. Pretty good little thunderstorm near Morganfield and Evansville right now, also to the southwest of Murray. Temperature is still into the 70s and 80s, and it is humid out there. It is oh so humid. That air has been soupy all blessed day. In fact, we can go over to the Kentucky Mesonet. Check out these current dew points. 76 up into Jackson County at the Mesonet side up there. You got some mid-70s there in south central Kentucky. That is some soupy air. A lot of moisture, and that moisture can provide fuel for thunderstorms. That's one key ingredient that we're going to be looking for on Tuesday. How much moisture is available, how much heat is available, how much wind energy is available, and how strong is that cold front that is diving in from the north. Joe from Danville joining us on YouTube. Thank you very much. Austin over in Pikeville asking, will it rain tomorrow in Pikeville? Well, Austin, let's go ahead and get to it. Let's talk about how things could break down as we go Monday into Tuesday. Let me pull this up. And folks, I got a lot of windows open tonight, so Aguacera may lag just a little bit. So here we go, Monday morning. Few spotty showers and storms possible. By the way, this model is the HRRR model, the high resolution rapid refresh. This is my favorite weather model for short-term forecasting. Just a preference what we're looking at. By 1 o'clock tomorrow, few spotty storms. Not a whole lot here. We zoom the map out though, and you can see that cluster of thunderstorms starting to dive down through the upper end of the Mississippi River Valley. That is what we've got to keep our eye on tomorrow, because that is going to play a big factor in our weather for Tuesday. So it dives down into northern portions of Illinois tomorrow evening. Probably going to be severe weather up there. Notice here in the bluegrass, we're running upper 80s and low 90s with high humidity. We then go into Tuesday morning, and that cluster of thunderstorms is still diving southward. And that is something we have to watch closely, because this could be the first potential round of severe weather for us on Tuesday. So here we are at 7 a.m. We're into the mid-70s. By lunchtime, we're into the mid-80s. And here come those thunderstorms firing up. Now, the HRRR is really locking in on western Kentucky for this first potential round of severe weather on Tuesday. And notice right here, that looks like a supercell. You'll also notice some notching on the future radar. Anybody that knows little radar 101 knows that that could mean the potential for tornadoes. And while it's not a perfect hodograph, this is something we look at to show the wind direction with height. There is some interesting rotation going on there. Don't know if that's enough to really support tornadoes, but definitely some high wind potential with that. That is something to bear in mind. Damaging winds, heavy rain, and tornadoes all on the table. We'll take a look at some of the individual threats a little bit later. So then we go into the afternoon, and that's when we see round 2 likely develop in eastern Kentucky. Some of these thunderstorms could get a little raucous. There is some right turning motion in the atmosphere, so something to at least keep an eye on. We can go take a look at the latest outlook from the Storm Prediction Center. The afternoon update put most of Kentucky in an enhanced risk of severe weather on Tuesday. That's a 3 out of 5 on the severe weather scale. So 3 out of 5 severe weather scale for for central and northern Kentucky. Pretty much all the state under that slight risk. In western Kentucky, under that marginal risk on Tuesday. Now, this will change as we get closer. We'll have to wait and see how it evolves. Now, those are the levels. Let's talk about the probability. So in the yellow, that's a 15% chance of severe weather. Remember, a severe thunderstorm is a thunderstorm that is defined by having 58 mile per hour winds and or 1 inch diameter hail. So 58 mile per hour winds, 1 inch hail. That's what makes a thunderstorm severe. When you get this hatching pattern, like you're seeing in central and northern Kentucky, that is significant severe weather. We're talking winds closer to 70 miles per hour. We're also talking about significant tornadoes, EF2 or higher. And in northern and central Kentucky and northeastern Kentucky, we have a 45% chance of significant severe weather. And even in Louisville, E-Town, Columbia, Berea, and Paintsville, we have a 30% chance of significant severe weather as of now. Now, this will change. The Storm Prediction Center is going to monitor this closely as the new data comes in, as the new models come in. That forecast will get updated. But that gives us private sector meteorologists, your broadcast meteorologists, your folks on your digital channels, kind of a heads up. This is what the Storm Prediction Center is watching. Just checking over in TikTok, had a question. Any chance you could check a part of Ohio that's about 35 minutes from Kentucky for Tuesday? Absolutely, Kaysen. Just tell me the town name and I'll be happy to look at it. Also, if you have specific questions, be sure to post that in the chat. Chief Fan, yes, I would not be surprised. Let me move this map just a little bit. Based at the latest data I've looked at, if somewhere in that area, that little blue shade I just drawed, ends up in a mod risk, would not surprise me one bit to see a moderate risk come out for Tuesday. Mod risk 4 out of 5 on the severe weather scale. Kim Childers asking about Pikeville. Kim, tonight is pretty calm in Pikeville. Tomorrow, small chance of a spotty storm or two. Tuesday night is when I'm most concerned about Pikeville. I would say after 5 or 6 o'clock on Tuesday. Clarksville, Tennessee, second home of Ryan Hall. I think is going to be right on the edge of this one on Tuesday. You may get a strong storm or two, but the worst of the action is going to be well off to the northeast of good old Clarksville, Tennessee. Kim, in Pikeville, need to just be on the lookout Tuesday. Strong wind is my main concern for most of Kentucky, and a small tornado threat. Seeing over on Facebook, Dwayne watching from Chavies and Buckhorn. Thank you for watching. Austin, don't know if I'll live tomorrow or not. I'm going to be at an education conference. We'll have to see how the internet at the hotel is. Stay tuned. I'll get some updates out one way or another. Williamson, West Virginia, over in Mingo County. Mingo County could see some pretty gnarly wind Tuesday night. Anywhere in this purple zone, which like Mingo is right on the edge between that purple and red, could get some gnarly wind. Breathitt County, Strong thunderstorms Saturday afternoon or evening look possible there in Breathitt County. Stephanie, my main concern there, gusty winds, 50 to 60 miles per hour. Bonnie Collins, Bear Branch, and Leslie County. Leslie County is going to be on that edge of that 30% into 15, so the storms may be weakening by the time we get there on Tuesday, Bonnie. Still want to be weather aware. My old buddy Mike Sills from 0 Meter Chasers. Long 48 hours ahead of us. Forecast headaches. Yeah, the jet streak is still up in the air, and I'm going to look at some of the other model data here in just a second, Mike. Especially as like the new RRFS comes out, the new NAM. James, yes, wind threat's the bigger threat in my opinion right now, but we can't rule out the tornado threat. Chief Fan asking, is this going to be like the 2012 derecho? Man, that was a historic derecho. Like, I remember that storm when I was in Beckley. Like, that knocked the power out like a week and a half and 2 weeks in some parts of West Virginia. I don't know that it'll get quite to that level, especially because we're not as hot as we were before that storm. But we'll just have to wait and see. Would not surprise me, Chief Fan, if we didn't have a tornado watch in the Ohio Valley on Tuesday. So I'd say Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, West Virginia, all fair game. Secret Agent, I am located in Kentucky. We're kind of talking about the severe weather potential for Kentucky and the eastern end of the Ohio Valley and moving on into Pennsylvania for Tuesday. Fred in Martin County. Mike Grisco on Facebook asking, Mikey, wind and tornadoes, main concern on Tuesday. So we're going to, told y'all we were going to get a little nerdy here. Give me 1 second. I'm going to turn off the future radar. And we're going to pull up some of the other variables we look at. So first thing we're going to look at is what we call CAPE, and specifically the most unstable layer of CAPE. CAPE stands for convectively available potential energy. So we're about to get real nerdy up in here, y'all, so hang with me. If you have questions, ask in the chat. CAPE, another way of thinking about it, it's thunderstorm fuel. Ryan Hall called it Nader juice once, and I think that's a really appropriate description. So when you get CAPE levels over 2,000, that's a pretty fair amount of energy in the atmosphere. You start getting up into 3,000 to 4,000, that's a juicy atmosphere. That's an atmosphere that's got some fuel for some thunderstorms. Cue up the Metallica, give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire. And you'll notice Tuesday morning, southern Indiana, western Kentucky, CAPE levels between 3,000 to 4,000. That's some significant energy. That's a lot of fuel to feed these thunderstorms. So if something gets going and can tap into that, you see like Louisville at noon on Tuesday, 4,000 CAPE. That's some storm fuel right there. That's some storm fuel and a half. What in the world? Just switched bundles on me. Why did it do that? Huh. See if I can pull that back up real quick. Okay. Here's another one we look at. The significant tornado parameter. clean this up real quick. So with this, anything 2 or higher is enough to get my attention. Now, luckily, that's looking pretty low. So even though, oh, whoops, that's Monday. I still don't know why that jumped forward like that. That was really odd. Here we go. All right, here's Tuesday morning. Let me pop these points on. Sorry, folks. I don't know why it changed like that. Anything above a 2 that shows up is enough to support a pretty decent tornado, EF2 or higher. So you'll notice Tuesday afternoon, at least a small chance of getting a few spots over a 1 or 2 on that significant tornado parameter. So that is one of the things we look at. I'm going to turn that off real quick, turn the radar back on. We're going to switch models real quick. So this is the GSL rapid refresh, or the impasse rapid refresh. I don't know why that radar is looking so faded. It's almost like the transparency got turned down. There we go. So here's the future radar from this model. Now you'll notice it's going a little further east with the initial storms and then developing that secondary line. Sorry about that, y'all. Technical difficulties. We worked through it. Timing, Chief Fan. Best chance for the first round, probably between 8 a.m. and about 1 p.m. Best chance for round 2, probably between 1 p.m. and about 8 p.m. for the rest of Kentucky. So this one, this model, a little further east with the initial push, trying to get a really strong Boeing segment through there. That's got derecho-esque look to it. We don't want that. And then more thunderstorms developing behind it. So you can see some pretty big differences in some of the modeling. Let's see if the new name is in real quick. Even though that old thing's about to get retired. I think we can see enough of it to at least get through the bulk of the storm. So this is the old North American mesoscale model. So it's also showing kind of an initial line. This one's more in line with the rapid refresh. Taking that southeast through eastern Kentucky, and then watching that line back building through the night. So definitely at least two different, at least 2 to 3 scenarios we're looking at. Saw a question on TikTok about Indianapolis. Y'all may have a few severe thunderstorms on Tuesday. So I think the worst of it's going to be east of you. Bardstown. Really depends on how everything shapes out. I think Bardstown is going to be on the edge of some potentially nasty weather. Put that SPC outlook back up. So Bardstown is in that enhanced risk. I'll turn that off and turn on the probability. And you're in that 30% chance of significant severe weather area. So Jack, Houston doesn't have to worry about this system. What could be Bertha, we can take a look at that here in a second. I'm mainly focused on Kentucky and the Ohio Valley, but I'll take a look at the Gulf for you for the potential tropical system here in a second. Jack, I think that's one you're going to want to wait and see. It's not a surefire this is going to happen thing just yet, but there is some higher potential, enough that it's throwing some red flags. It is something we're going to monitor closely, and that's the big point I want to drive home pretty much for most of the state for Tuesday for Kentucky. Be weather aware Tuesday. Pay attention to the radar. Make sure you're following a local meteorologist, whether it's me, whether it's a guy on TV, whether it's another digital content creator. There are a ton of great sources to get your weather information from. We're like Baskin Robbins, 31 different flavors, something for everybody. If you happen to like my style of presentation, awesome. Glad to have you here. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And if you follow my X account, or Twitter, I'm going to call it Twitter, that's S Smith Weather, or you follow my Meteorologist Shane Smith Facebook page, I have automated real-time Kentucky weather warnings there. So anytime a thunderstorm warning or a tornado warning is issued in Kentucky, it will automatically post to those channels, and you guys can keep up with those. And if you're outside of Kentucky, I encourage you all, find a good local meteorologist. Also, check out meteorologists in the Digital Weather Network. Really good folks there doing some awesome things. Sandy, there is some potential of flooding. I can go ahead and pop that up real quick. Let me pull that up, because that is another component. Here is the excessive rain outlook for Tuesday. And you'll notice about half the state under a slight risk of flash flooding. So there is a flooding risk, especially in eastern Kentucky, Tuesday with these storms. Over into Virginia, more northern Virginia, a decent chance of some severe weather, especially up near DC. Smaller chances in the southern half of Virginia. Rock Island, Illinois. I'm going to have to familiarize myself with that one. I do not know where that is. Okay, so, oh, over near Davenport, Iowa. Okay, gotcha. So you don't have anything to worry about for tomorrow, or for tonight, excuse me, tomorrow or Tuesday. Monday, you do have a little bit of severe weather to worry about. Let me switch this over real quick. Because you have a slight risk of severe weather tomorrow and an enhanced risk just a stone's throw away. Seeing some folks asking about London, Ashley, and Rosetta. Um, we are watching for the potential of severe weather in London and Corbin Tuesday afternoon and evening. So our risk here in southeast Kentucky is going to be Tuesday afternoon and evening. So Jake, I know this is included in that. Tuesday afternoon and evening, we need to be on the lookout for severe thunderstorms. See, Fallensby, West Virginia. I am not familiar with that one. Oh, up in northern West Virginia, up near Steubenville. Okay. Yeah, definitely chances of some really strong wind, maybe a few tornadoes up in the northern panhandle of West Virginia on Tuesday. So if you got friends in the northern end of the mountain state, pretty much Charleston north, just tell them be aware. Weather could get a little gnarly Tuesday afternoon and evening. Louisville actually has a pretty good shot of severe weather Tuesday early afternoon, and ironically enough, that's where I'm going to be Tuesday afternoon. I may be going live from inside the storm. We'll have to wait and see. I'm actually going to be up there for the Kentucky State Career and Technical Education Conference. For those of y'all that don't know, maybe joining for the first time, meteorologist by night, teacher by day. I was a broadcast meteorologist full time for 7 years. Now I work as a public school teacher in the state of Kentucky, teaching media arts. So I teach kids how to do photography, video production, and graphic design. Got a little experience in it. Still do meteorology on the side. So I'll be at the State Technical Education Conference pretty much starting tomorrow through Thursday morning. So yeah, I'm going to be up in the thick of it in Louisville. May have to go live streaming from inside the storm, go storm chasing. Kankakee, Illinois. That one is one I am not familiar with. All right, let me go back to the day 2 outlook up there. Decent chance of severe weather tomorrow evening up y'all's way. Damaging winds, heavy rain, intense lightning, the main concern. So this is tomorrow's severe weather zone. This is Monday's. So you can see most of Wisconsin, eastern Iowa, northern Illinois. That's the enhanced risk. That's where the most intense severe weather will be tomorrow. You get down from Chicago down to Bloomington. You go into that slight risk, so it should begin weakening out a little bit, and there's a small chance that it stays severe as it gets into central Illinois and central Indiana late tomorrow night and early Tuesday morning. Then as we go into Tuesday, those storm chances shift to the south and the east. So you see you've got pretty good enhanced risk, including Louisville, E-Town, Lexington, Cincinnati, Ashland, Paintsville, Charleston, West Virginia, Columbus, Ohio, Pittsburgh, Morgantown, Elkins, all the way up into around State College in Pennsylvania. Rosetta, small chance. I'm more worried about straight line winds in Corbin and London. And we will get the tornado and wind threat analysis from the Storm Prediction Center tomorrow morning. I will be posting those on my Facebook page and Instagram on Tuesday, or for Tuesday tomorrow morning. So as soon as that data comes out, I will share that. So be on the lookout over on Facebook and Insta for that. And if y'all are enjoying this kind of weather coverage, I encourage you to check me out on all those social media platforms. You can find me at S Smith Weather on TikTok, Instagram, and X, and Meteorologist Shane Smith on Facebook or YouTube. So I'm on all the channels. Essa Boy is asking, what about Tuesday? Is there going to be a tornado? Where is the question? I think there will likely be some tornadoes Tuesday somewhere in the Ohio Valley. The question to me right now is where. Pomeroy, Ohio. Okay, so, you're just up the river from Point Pleasant. Okay. So, yeah, you've got a really good shot of severe weather on Tuesday. Damaging winds, maybe even a noticeable tornado, like legitimate tornado chance for Tuesday up there. And this may shift around a little bit. I can see this coming back to the west some if the HRRR is more accurate. It looks like right now, Storm Prediction Center is leaning a little bit more towards the rapid refresh scenario. James, I see asking about Somerset for Tuesday. Damaging winds, the big threat there. Small tornado threat, and I know a lot of folks in Somerset are tornado anxious after last year. We're same story here in London. I feel it. I think the tornado risk is going to be better up a little farther north of us. I'm more concerned about straight line winds here in like far south central and southeastern Kentucky. We may legit have 60, 70 mile per hour winds. Chandra Carter asking about Garrison. Y'all right now are under that 45% chance of significant severe weather. That means damaging winds in excess of 70 miles per hour or EF2 tornadoes. And or. So that's a definite, we need to be weather aware on Tuesday. Eastern Panhandle over near Martinsburg, West Virginia. Yeah, Edgar, this is the weather for Tuesday that we're looking at right now. So we're looking ahead at a potential severe weather outbreak in the Ohio Valley on Tuesday and into the mountains of West Virginia and Pennsylvania. So in eastern West Virginia, I would definitely expect more straight line winds. I think the tornado threat would be more to your north. Yeah, and guys, this is a great time to go ahead and review your severe weather plan. The biggest thing you can do is have a plan. Just as a little first-hand anecdote, we had a major EF4 tornado roll through my hometown of London, Kentucky, May 16th of last year. Very powerful tornado, winds in excess of 170 miles per hour. Homes were completely destroyed. The only room in a lot of those houses that was completely intact was an interior bathroom or closet. Most of the people that unfortunately were killed in that storm, we lost 19 people in that storm, were not in their tornado safe room. The most interior room in your house. No windows, inside, no as many walls between you and the outside world as possible. Cover your head, have some head protection, have a good pair of shoes. So this pink area is a 45% chance of severe weather on Tuesday. So anybody in this pink contour here has basically a coin flip shot at seeing severe weather. Now this hatching area where there's the black dashed lines, that is a indicator of significant severe weather. We're talking 60 to 70 mile per hour winds instead of just 58 mile per hour winds. We're getting closer to that 70 mile per hour threshold, and or EF2 or stronger tornadoes. So when you start to see those hash marks come out, that's an indicator that we're going a step above. Jimmy Mitchell on Facebook asking about Leslie County, Kentucky. My main concern there is going to be damaging wind-driven thunderstorms Tuesday evening after like 2 or 3 o'clock, Jimmy. I'd say southeast Kentucky, down around Highway 80, Hal Rogers Parkway area, you need to be on the lookout from about like 2 o'clock to 10 o'clock Tuesday. We can actually, let me see if we can load up the wind gusts potential. Hang on one second, y'all. I'll get this adjusted real quick. Switch this model. So here's the future wind gusts from the HRRR model, just to give you guys like an idea of what the winds could be looking like inside these thunderstorms. There you see a gust over near Ashland, 40 to 50, 60 miles per hour. And obviously that's just one model's take. This is for Tuesday, Sandra. Dakota, we're watching for potential severe weather Tuesday in West Virginia. What is this charting? We're looking at wind gust right now, Peyton. So this is future wind gusts Tuesday. And that's outside of thunderstorms, by the way. So obviously with a thunderstorm, you can get some enhanced downdrafts and get some nastiness going on. All right. Any other questions? We'll kind of take a final look through this. So here's future radar. Let's zoom this out a little bit. So Monday, best chance of severe weather. Actually, let me zoom way out on that. Best chance of severe weather up into the upper end of the Mississippi River Valley, so Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, northern Illinois. That line dives through into Tuesday morning into the Ohio Valley, up around Ohio and Pennsylvania. Y'all start to see storms around lunchtime if this model is accurate. Western Kentucky right around lunchtime, noon Eastern, 1 o'clock. Central PA, 3 o'clock, you're just getting hammered with straight line winds. Eastern West Virginia, probably 4 or 5 o'clock. If this, don't want to scare you, just want to prepare you. All you need to do is take preparations, charge up your battery on your phone, know where you need to go during severe weather. Make sure you got some supplies in case the power gets knocked out for a couple of days. Then you see Monday evening, like even NYC may get in on the severe weather late Monday. Philly, DC, Eastern Kentucky. And that's as far out as this model goes right now. Quincy, Illinois. How bad could it get tomorrow? Roll that back. There's Quincy on the map. Y'all may see some raucous thunderstorms early Tuesday morning, about 3, 4 in the morning. Milwaukee, 1 a.m. So some early thunderstorms up towards Milwaukee, like late Monday night, early Tuesday morning. Over into Maryland, man, we're getting a lot of folks outside of Kentucky on the TikTok. So Milwaukee, early Tuesday morning. NYC is going to be Tuesday night. Well, Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday evening. Y'all may see 2 rounds. There's one potential round, 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then 8 p.m. All right, we'll bring it back to Kentucky real quick to wrap this up. So still a lot of questions about how exactly this plays out. I'll try to have updates throughout the day tomorrow on my Meteorologist Shane Smith Facebook page. As soon as information comes out, we get new data in, I will try to post some stuff. I can tell you here in Kentucky, once we get this front on out of here, check out the nicer weather heading our way. Low 80s for highs the rest of the week, lows into the 60s. That's nice. So, definitely stormy on Tuesday. Some of those storms may linger into Wednesday morning, afternoon. But once that front clears, it is going to feel very, very good. Saw a question. Quincy tornado risk tomorrow. Hang on real quick. I'll pop that up for you. Give me 1 second. We can run through the all the risk zones. All right, so Quincy is right on the edge of the marginal risk of severe weather tomorrow. Tornado risk tomorrow. Mainly up central Wisconsin, northeast Iowa, northwest Illinois, upper peninsula of Michigan. Wind threat looking pretty good. Hail threat 15%. How about Hazard? Hazard may have a chance of some severe thunderstorms Tuesday afternoon and evening, Harold. Haley, we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see how the data processes everything early tomorrow morning. There's a chance it could shift southward some. May also go to the north. Just depends on how the storms set up early tomorrow morning. So this is the Monday wind outlook. Let me go just the Monday general thunderstorms. So here on Monday, this is your big risk zone. Upper Peninsula of Michigan, Wisconsin, Iowa, Northern Illinois. That line dives into the Ohio Valley early Tuesday morning, and from there, as we go into Tuesday, here's where the risk zone shifts to. Western Kentucky has a slight risk, most of central and northeastern Kentucky, and the enhanced risk that carries us all the way up to central Pennsylvania. Would not be surprised to see maybe a moderate risk driven by strong wind somewhere in this zone. A lot of disagreement, Haley. Hoping to see a little better agreement tomorrow. We shall see. All right, folks, we've been going about an hour. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up for the evening. Thank you so much for joining us. Be sure to share this and hit that like button, subscribe, follow, whatever the platform of choice you're on. Hit the buttons. It helps out a whole lot. We will be tracking this. I'll have updates throughout the day tomorrow on my Meteorologist Shane Smith Facebook page. So be sure to check out there. And we'll see. Might have a live tomorrow. Might have a live on Tuesday. We'll have to wait and see. But until then, take care, stay weather aware, and I'll see you guys next time.